Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am hopping on with my spinning wheel and some fiber and a few other things behind me that I thought we'd just do a spinning chat today. So while I'm spinning, I will kind of work between spinning, which there is something I want to show you on this, and showing you some of the stuff behind me. Today I have my Spinolution Monarch out, and I've been working a little bit on some fiber that I've done, which if you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen some of this. For those of you who are new here, welcome. If you don't know, I am quite active on Instagram. So if you want to see more daily stuff, that's where you'll want to go. I am not as active on Facebook as probably I should be, but I do have the two connected. So hopefully if you're there, you're seeing me also. This is actually some yarn or some fiber that I worked on dyeing. This is a mix of, there's some alpaca in here, there's some pygora in here. I do have a few bits and blobs of angora, just raw, not dyed, so it's gray. But I wanted to show you, and I think you can kind of see from these top layers, how you can get your finished yarn to look different. This is something that I have been playing with the last couple years, and actually when I first started, I had no idea that, you know, how you put your yarn onto your wheel or through your wheel, or how you separated out your fibers would make a difference in how your end product looked. And I have a video probably within the last year, I think. I'll try to remember to link it up above here, but it's fractal spinning, which is where you take a braid, and it's really neat because how you divide out your braid is what your finished yarn is going to look like. And the same goes for when you're doing carded bats. I did these on my drum carder, and when you spin these, they're going to look different. So I'm going to start with one that's more mixed. I've already got it on my, got some on my bobbin, and I thought I'd start spinning some. Typically, it just depends on what mood I'm in, how I spin these. You can do it a couple different ways. You can spin it from the center part here, which is just pulling it out right from the center, and it'll kind of start, you can see, making not a roving, but it will pull from there. You can take it apart by opening these up, and you can divide them into different strips. Also would make a difference on how your fiber looked. So I could unroll this whole thing, which that's beautiful too, and it's actually different because I did the first layer a little bit different. And then you can pull this apart and spin from like a side. So all of that is going to make your yarn look different. And I am just, this is just a kind of a pet project for me. I am just playing with this fiber, and I'm spinning it in a few different ways. I have been spinning the part that I have here on my wheel. I've been spinning kind of a long draw method. Okay, sorry about the interruption, guys. So I was talking about how this, putting it different ways, and I've just been playing with it a little bit. And so I've been doing more of a long draw method, which gives you a fluffier, airier type. It's more of a woolen type yarn rather than a worsted. Worsted is when you are working in short sections on the ply, and you're doing smoothing it over with your fingers more, I guess you'd say. So I am going to work from this bat, which is more mixed up than say this one, and I'll show you the difference in the spinning try to move the stuff behind me. And I'm kind of just sitting here with this whole bat in my lap. I need to get situated. And again, when I spin, I hold the fiber in my left hand. I maneuver the fiber with my right hand. And this is going to be just more of a fun yarn, I think, when I get all that said and done. It will not be your store-bought Red Heart, no bumps and anything in it. This is going to be more of a, like I said, a woolen type yarn. So as I'm working through this section, I'm going to do just a little bit of this, and then I'll do a little bit of the other bat to show you the difference. And when I'm all done, I'll show you how it came out. And then hopefully along the way here, like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, I do a lot of my posting and showing you a lot of my finished stuff there. And so once I get this all applied and finished, which will not be done today, I don't know, I have so much stuff I want to do right now, and there just aren't enough hours in my day. I am, let's see, I don't know if I said today is Tuesday, and so this video will actually be one of my next week videos. I have Monday's video yesterday is already up, and then I have a video coming out Friday. And so this will probably either be next Monday or next Friday's videos, because I do have a couple others I want to get filmed. But this coming Thursday, I am teaching a drop spindle class in a local library. Not overly local to me, it's actually where we used to live. And my sister works there, so I kind of have an in. So this will be the second class I've taught. Well, actually, I've done a few things there. I did a more of a demonstration type thing this past spring, and then I've done a children's program there. And so this one is going to be a drop spindle, and so I've been working on that this week. And I will show you. I'm going to pause my spinning here. I have put together, and it won't matter that I'm telling you this now and this doesn't come out until next week, because the class is already full. So even if you wanted to get into it, you couldn't. I'm at my limit for people. But I have these little gift bags made up, and it has some, well, it has the drop spindle, obviously. This is one. This is just a top whirl with a hook, real basic one. I ended up, so I was going to make, my husband has been making some urethane drop spindles. That's what he does. He's a chemist. And so we've been playing with these the last 6 months or so. And so he was going to make me some for my class, and he just has not had the time to get them all done. And so I went ahead and just ordered these off Amazon for my little goodie bags. And then I got some wool. And the other fiber I put in here is actually, which goes against all of my rules, sometimes I do that, it is actually yarn, the roving yarn. I don't even know what they call it, but you make those big blankets out of it, which I don't know why they do that, because it's gonna come apart at some point. So I got some of that from Hobby Lobby, and I took some and popped it in each bag along with the wool, because I kind of wanted to just show people that you can do other things. Like, it doesn't have to be strictly what everyone else says it is. And so I wanted them, you know, that they could have easy access to things like that. And it's nothing that I would ever promote or choose, because it's part acrylic and part wool is what those are made from. But I thought it would be fun just to show them that you can spin lots of different things, not necessarily just sheep wool. And so I've got the goodie bags all set. I ran into an interesting, not a conundrum, but I was writing up sort of a lesson for my class, and I was doing just a basic worksheet for them to have spinning terms and just the basics of the drop spindle, what everything is called. And I wanted to add in, for those of you who are spinners, we talk about, not always, but sometimes we talk about, which I'm going to deep dive into in one of these videos. I need to do some more research after this morning because I ran into some confusion with a spinning book that I had. I was always taught, and I actually pulled out the worksheet. This is a poll I did on Instagram this morning too, so if you hop over there, you'll be able to see this in my stories. But I had the worksheet from when I took my drop spindle class 20 years ago. And it talks about, you may have heard the terms S twist and a Z twist. And I was always taught, and have never questioned it up until today, that an S twist was a clockwise spin, which is what I'm doing. Again, this is going to be flipped, but I am clockwise spinning. I don't know if I've ever counterclockwise my singles. I always clockwise spin my plies, my single plies, and then I counterclockwise my 2 single plies to make them a double ply, to make them into yarn. And single plied yarn is a whole nother topic. I think I've done 1 or 2 videos on that, but not a lot. And so as I was writing up my worksheets or typing up my worksheets this morning, I was going through and putting definitions in on the worksheet, and I ran across a book that their definition is completely opposite of what I learned. And I thought, well, that's weird, because I've always thought that an S twist is clockwise and a Z twist is counterclockwise, and not according to this book. So I started doing some research on the internet, and it's not overly clear. And then I got to chatting with a friend who saw my poll, and she started deep diving, and she sent me some videos and stuff. I think I need to contact, I'm going to try contacting Carrie at My Woman, because she's been doing this a lot longer than I have even. And I want to see what she says. But I think what Heidi and I came up with was that when you single ply clockwise, it is an S. But when you ply it 2 onto 1, your S becomes, I don't know. I had it figured out, but it was super interesting. So now I need to do a deep dive into that, and maybe that will be one of my videos coming up, because I just always assumed, and there were some people, like, this craft amazes me. I told Heidi this. I've been doing it for many, many, many years, and there are still stuff where I'm like, huh, I did not know that, and this is one of them. So I'm going to be looking into that more. I have a feeling it has to do with the plying aspect, the difference between having just a single, or getting some bumps in my yarn, having just a single or plying your yarn. I think that may be what it attributes to either your S or your Z being clockwise or counterclockwise, but I'm not sure. And also, one thing that I found out more recently, doing some of this drop spindle stuff, is that it does make a difference with knitting and crocheting if you have S plied fiber or Z plied fiber, because that's when you tend to have your fibers split. I'm not going to deep dive into this because as I'm talking, I'm like, I don't even have it clear in my own mind right now. And but that makes total sense as a crocheter. If you were to, I think if you were to crochet with a Z twist, the yarn would split less. And so it might be advantageous to spin your yarn in a Z. So super interesting. And I was just wondering if you guys were ever taught that, those spinners out there, if you were ever taught the difference between S and Z and what your thoughts are behind it. Because it's a whole, like Heidi and I were going back and forth and we got confused just talking to one another, I think. So that might be one of my upcoming, if I can get it clear in my own mind, to understand what. But it's funny, I pulled out, like I said, I had the worksheet from when I learned how to spin years and years and years ago. And it says that clockwise is an S or an S twist and counterclockwise is a Z twist. So my thought is it does change as you ply your yarn. That's all I can think of. So that one will be kind of interesting to deep dive into coming up here. I never did my summer deep dive into color genetics either. I don't know where summer went. It's just gone. We did have a busy summer, and yeah, it's just gone. We are slowly, not slowly, we're quickly transitioning into fall here in Michigan. We have trees changing already, and it is getting dark really early, or it feels like really early, and then I have to keep reminding myself that next week is October, which is just crazy. So summer went by really fast. I am still pulling stuff out of the garden. Actually, when I'm done here today filming this, I'm gonna go can more tomatoes. I have done everything tomato that you can possibly can this year. I have done soup, and I've done both pizza and pasta sauce, and I've done juice, and I've done salsa. I've done it all this year. So our pantry is chock full of tomatoes and other things that I did. So this will probably be the last of it unless I decide to pull all my green tomatoes and put them in the garage and see if they turn. I don't know, I haven't decided, or if I'm just done. My raspberries, I'm still picking raspberries every day. They were crazy this year. I even froze raspberries, and I don't know if I've ever had a year where I had enough to freeze raspberries. So yeah, there's all of that going on. I have a good start to this part of the bobbin. So I'm going to, and I overspun a little bit of it as I was talking to you. So I'm going to grab one of these, let's see, this one, that's more, and you can see the difference pretty good. And I'm going to show you how this spins differently. So yeah, I overspun some of that while I was talking. Let's see. I have been playing with I had some, this summer I did, which I talked about, I did a lot of shearing down my rabbits this summer, which I typically always do. And so I had some new rabbits this summer. And so I had some different, some Angora that was shorter length. Usually I like it to be 3 or 4 inches, and some of this is 2 to 3 inches. So it's not real long. And so I was just playing with it on my carding board. That's not even what it's called. Yeah, carding board. And so I made just a roll egg out of some of my shorter white Angora today. I'm going to try spinning this off from, and it's pretty tight. And again, these are pretty short pieces. So I've been working on that today. So that's one of my project lists. Yeah, I don't know. There's so much I want to do right now, and I don't have time to do it all. So And while I'm doing this one, I am going to switch up the colors as I go along, intentionally, because if I were to just spin through from the center of this like I am, all I would get for the first, I don't know, however many yards there is in here, would be strictly just this one color. So when you have bats that are divided like this, you can kind of get a start, and how much you choose to spin. Like right now I'm in this burgundy section. However long I decide to spin this burgundy section is going to affect the colorway in my yarn, which you will see. So I'm gonna just kind of pick through this, and I'm gonna do some of this burgundy here, and then I'm going to intentionally stop, and I'm going to go to the teal section and spin some of the teals. So this will be more like the when I did the fractal spinning and divided it intentionally with the colors being put in. Oh, and this one's going to have a little bit of orange in it. I'm kind of, it's always hard sometimes to do filming while you're trying to spin. You're always trying to get the camera set up just right, and then sometimes you end up, and of course I have all of this stuff behind me in the chair, so let's see, what else could we chat about? So by the time this comes up next week, my husband will be home, so I don't announce that he's gone ever, but he is gone right now. He's in California, and he is actually, by the time he gets home, he will have been gone for 10 days, which is the longest I have ever been alone in my life. I went from living with my parents to being married to Scott, and we had kids early on in our marriage, and we homeschooled, and so I have always had someone with me at all times in the house, and so it's been a really weird week. It's very quiet. We are a very loud family with 5 kids and Scott. And so it has just really been an odd week. I have accomplished a lot, and I was sick the first part of it. I think I talked about that in the video previously, that I had come down with a cold. And when you see me do that, I'm picking through, sometimes there's hay and things in fiber. That happens to, no matter how well you get it processed or go through it, there's oftentimes you might find a little bit of hay or whatever. That just makes me, I always say that just makes me, I'm always happy to see the little pieces of hay when I purchase fiber, because I know that it came from someone's farm. So you just pick it out as you're spinning and move on. I did get, let's see, before I forget here and finish this video, I have all this stuff sitting back here. I'm going to be, so I also, along with the gift basket for my class, I am also going to be taking some of the drop spindles that my husband and I made and selling them, but I'm also going to put them on sale on my website. So I need to go in and do that possibly this afternoon or tomorrow. But these are what they are. So if you're interested in a really cool drop spindle, and they are great drop spindles, they're also great supported spindles because they have quite a bit of weight to them. The way we designed them, they spin very nicely, and they spin for quite a while consistently. And so you can drop spindle or support spindle on like a table or something, and they work really well. The other thing I'm going to do this afternoon is deep dive into this book. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. It's Joe Winger, Old Fashioned on Purpose, Cultivating a Slower, More Joyful Life. I had pre-ordered it because I'm always about a slower life. It's always fascinated me, but I'm super interested to read that. So I'm kind of thankful for this yucky day today, because I'm going to, and I got my fiber caught here, I'm going to, after I film this video and do a bit more with some fiber, I am going to sit down and work on reading that book today. I always enjoy reading books like that. They motivate me to maybe make changes in my life that I've thought about and haven't done, or just get other people's ideas. So it looks like a really good book. I read the first chapter. She sent that out, and I really enjoyed what I read into the first chapter. So I'm looking forward to diving into that this afternoon. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Sharing. I have goat sharing coming up. So for those of you who are new here, we purchased Angora goats this summer, 4 of them. 1 adult, and the other 3, one was born in March, and I am just really over twisting this fiber. Let me try that. 1 was born in March, and the other 2 were born in June or July? June, I think. And so they need to be sheared in October. Angora goats get sheared twice a year, and so I am actually going to go, the breeder that I bought them from, Bonnie, I am going to go help her. I need to contact her. I need to get with her. I am hoping to go watch her, help her shear her flock, or her goats. Last I knew, she had quite a few of them that she still had. She had sold off some this summer, and so I'm gonna go help her do that. We have sheared before. We had Pygora goats in the past, but it has been 9 years now since I've owned goats, since we've sheared. And I'm an extremely visual learner, and so just to kind of reintroduce myself to it, I want to go and help her and see how she does it. Also, I want to talk to her about the fiber and how she gets it cleaned, if she takes it somewhere to get processed. Pygora needs to be de-haired, and so I always just took my Pygora along with the alpaca fur fiber into, I would take it to a processor here in Michigan, a mill, and have it processed. And so that's what I want to go do and see. So she is, last I heard, Bonnie was going to be shearing in the second week of October, I think she said. And so once I get that done, then I'm going to get mine, I'm going to shear mine right after that. So probably here in the next few weeks, I will be doing that, and I will definitely film a video on that. I want to do a video. We ended up, just like anything, I think you get into something, especially with fiber or farming or anything like that, and the right tools really make all the difference, make a huge difference. And so I, in the past, have used electric shears, I guess is what they're called. I had the Oster A5 turbos is what I used to use on my goats, and they do work for the rabbits. And I still have, I actually have 2 pairs of them. I had And so they're older, obviously. If I have not sheared in 8 years, I bought these quite a few years ago. And I bought the first set and started having issues with it. And then bought a second set, and somewhere along the way, so these are probably 15, 20, did I buy them before I got the goats? Yeah, I might have used them for my rabbits first. And so I have two older pair that I just cannot get to work right. I don't know what it is. And it's a pain when you want to do something and do it right and your tools are just not working. It's a huge pain. And so Scott and I talked it over, and he had me get, he said, just get a nice set, because this is something you're going to be doing. So I talked to Bonnie, and she sent recommendations of what a lot of people like, and they were pricey, but they're an investment. And when you have the right tools, like I can remember when we used to shear goats and something wonky would happen with them, and you have to stop everything, and then you've got a goat tied up, and it's just a real big pain. And so I have a very, very nice set of clippers. I may do a separate video just on those. I actually haven't even pulled them out of the box yet. I have not had time to do that. Haven't even thought about it. And so I need to pull them out of the box and kind of get familiar with them. I'm hoping to take them with me when we do shear, when I do go to Bonnie's to shear, and let her use them. I would hate to have to spend all of this money and then only use them a couple times a year when there are people that I know could get good use out of them also. So I'm hoping to share those, and I'm excited to try them. I could go out tomorrow and shear my goats if I wanted to. It's that time of the season. But again, I just really want to get familiar with how to do it again, so that I'm comfortable in shearing them. I typically, so I don't have anything for them to stand on, like a stanchion or anything like that. When we used to do it, Scott would hold them and I would just shear them, and that always worked really well. I'm planning on doing that. I did try to find some YouTube videos on shearing Angora goats, and there isn't, from what I could tell when I looked, there aren't a whole lot of videos out there. And there were a couple videos where people sheared them with just like a pair of Fisker shears, and I don't want to do that. I use my hands so much that I have like carpal tunnel issues and arthritis and all of the things that make it really difficult to use your hands sometimes. And the thought of trying to use a pair of shears to clip 4 goats just does not sound appetizing to me, and so, or appealing to me, I should say. And so I'm hoping to get a good video filmed and put that up on my channel, so that you guys can kind of see how it's done. And yeah, so I need to still do some research into, like I said, I will talk to Bonnie about the fiber. My pygoras I always had processed into a cloud, is what they would call it with the pygoras. And so I need to see what Bonnie does and get her recommendations and things like that. I do appreciate having people around me like her that can help me with all of this stuff. It's not that this stuff is new to me, but again, I haven't done it in quite a few years, and so I want to make sure that I check all my boxes when I'm doing it. So I think I overspun some of this, and you guys will see that. But I think I talked about everything back here. I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to pull you up and just kind of point out to you how the different colors on the bat spin up. Okay guys, you can see here, let's see if I can get that to stay. Let me get out of the light here. So this end here is from the mixed bat, and you can see how it kind of, again, don't look at my overspun pieces. I got to talking and spinning too fast, and that's what happens. So you can see where they're more of a blended type, and where here is the bat where they were divided, and I could control the spinning a little bit more. So this yarn is going to look different throughout, and I'm going to kind of play, like I said, this is more of a yarn that I'm just going to play with. And so when this yarn is done, you're going to be able to see a lot of I am going to apply it. I will probably put all of it onto, this is my 8-ounce bobbin. I will probably fill this, and then I'll do a ball and a center pull ball where I'll spin off from the ball. And so you'll be able to see the differences in the yarn. And yeah, so I hope that's helpful, and I hope that all makes sense, and it will once I get it all put together for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know down below if you like these chat videos. I know some of you do, and hopefully what I did with the yarn makes sense to you guys and how it's going to come out in the end. And yeah, I'll be able to show you when I'm all done. So I hope you guys are having a great day. If you don't already, please subscribe to my channel and click that like button. It does help me out. And if you have any questions or comments, put them down below, and I will be glad to answer those for you. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you're creating something. Bye.